All right, let's begin with my Joy Online Sports Portal. And the sports minister nominee, Mr. Kofi Idi Adams, somebody Raymond knows very well from your time in a disco.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, a disco and Accra Academy, we are like brothers.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So Accra is the Accra version of a disco.
Why? A disco is the Cape Coast version of Accra Academy.
Disco is a big boy.
What are you talking about?
A big boy.
What are you talking about?
Big ups to all Santa Claus.
You may have been founded before us. We agree.
So we are your older brothers.
We give you that.
So just accept.
We give you that.
The Accra version of Adisada.
We are not the Accra Academy. We are unique. We are one of the few schools not affiliated with the church.
I know Bello. Bello is going to fight me this morning. Mohammed Bello. Good morning to you.
Shout out to all Blelby. Shout out to all Blelby. 1931 forever. Let's get into the headlines. Mr. Kofi Idi Adams, sports minister nominee, says sports is not just about football. Interesting. Other stories. John Mahama sees me as best fit for sports ministry. Kofi Adams speaking. There's a lot of Kofi Adams stories here. And he says sports ministry to rely on get fund for school sports. Interesting. Raymond, let's take note. We'll come to this story.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And Dortmund sacked Nuri Sahin after defeat to Bologna. Wow. Under defeat to Bologna. Wow. And there's a feature here, Underdog Rising, the story of true democracy, 2024-25 FA Cup Giant Killers. If you go to Ghana Web Sports page, Otto Addo retained as Black Stars head coach Randy Abbey confirms. Hey!
Randy Abbey. Confirming
Otto Addo's staying.
Oh. Hey! But I thought Randy was supposed to go and deal with cash crops.
But it's on he's Black Stars Management Committee chairman.
He's not left the post.
No, and he's still part of the FA.
Oh, Nathan. Then I have to advise Randy Abbey. I have to advise Randy Abbey today.
We'll get into that.
No, so I'm telling you.
In advance.
I have to advise
Randy Abbey. To advise him this morning.
He has to stop this work.
He has to stop the FA work. But the FA work is not a paid job.
No.
So you can do it in your leisure.
No.
Okay, let's proceed.
When you come back.
Time. GFA charges in Swacherman FC over misconduct, and Mubarak Wakasso's move to Hearts of Oak collapses. Interesting stuff there. Brentford's Yohan Wissa in court after a woman threw acid at him. Eish! That's serious. Ray, that's serious.
Serious. Acid.
Let's proceed. 3 news and their sports portal says, I learned a lot playing for the Black Satellites. Varbeck's Gideon Mensah. Australian Open thrilling quarterfinal set the stage for fierce semi-final contest, and Brecum Chelsea charged by GFA over supporters' misconduct. Okay, and Kotoko strengthened squad with Kwesi Asante signing. So that's that. If you go to the BBC, a pitiful and chastening surrender. Guardiola's job never been bigger, and Phil McNulty is analysing Manchester City's travails in France last night. They lost in the Champions League, and so questions are arising. In tennis, Sabalenka Bedosa put friendship aside for semi-final clash, and Celtic seal playoff spot a dramatic win over Young Boys. Arsenal easily beat Zagreb to all but secure last 16 spot, and Bayern stand by Feyenoord to dent qualification hopes. If you go to ESPN, Pep is speaking. Pep Guardiola says City down to last chance to avoid UCL exit. Real Madrid post record revenue over $1 billion. Okay, and there's a write-up how to reach the Champions League knockouts. So those are some stories there. And Norway clubs vote to scrap VAR after fan outrage. I'll be giving you details on that. Raymond, what have you got for us this morning?
Well, citysportsonline.com this morning say attention to Black Stars has overtaken essence of least finance sports. Ghana Cycling PRO has that to say.
Mm-hmm.
Change of sports ministry's name has no bearing on Ghana sports improvement. Dennis Moore.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Mahama has chosen the right person to lead the sports sector. George Efriye.
Mm-hmm.
Ghana missing out on Morocco 2025 and Chan is worrying. Former GFA Vice President George Efriye. I will be sports minister for all disciplines, but Black Stars remain special. Kofi Idi Adams. Ghana Premier League, refereeing is not a perfect job. Alex Scotty is the referee's manager. He says, refereeing is not a perfect job. Nathan, underline that.
Refereeing is not what?
A perfect job.
Thank you.
Alex Scotty, referee's manager. He has that to say. Basketball, Ghana's Ben Bentil makes latest move after joining French side Asvel. And then other stories here say Postecoglou bemoans injury luck. And then Wilfred Zaha joins Charlotte FC on loan.
Okay.
Wilfred Zaha.
Wilf Zaha.
Yeah, he's going to America.
Hey!
He's going to America on holidays. Yeah. AC Milan agree loan deal with Manchester City's Kyle Walker. And then Gauka is still relevant. King Faisal director states ahead of association's elections. And
The elections are happening this morning.
yes,
for those
this
who don't
morning.
know.
And one story here says Borussia Dortmund sacked Nuri Sahin. You earlier on spoke about that.
Yes.
Ghana Soccer Net this morning have some interesting stories. Former Simba defender Kwesi Asante delighted to seal dream move to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And then Ghana Football Association retains Otoado despite 2025 AFCON failure. Plans backroom changes. And then Ghana Football Association has decided to keep Otoado. That's according to Randy Abe. King Faisal appoints Totti as assistant coach. Not the Totti you know.
Not Francesco
Yeah,
Totti.
so it's Francis Akwafo. He is now going to assist Prince Abuto Achampo in the dugout for the Division 1 club. Okay, so we continue here and it says Ghana's Emmanuel Keyeke close to switching international allegiance to Tanzania.
Hey!
I told you yesterday. What's that changing nationality? So Keyeke won't play for Ghana, but he will now naturalize and play for Tanzania.
Tanzania.
Yeah, that is how far we are going. That's how-
Wow.
yeah. So there's a story here that says, I don't think national team management should receive per diems. Kofi Adams. Is that exactly what he said? No. I think he said he doesn't think they should receive per diems when the key actors, the players, have not been paid. I think that's exactly what he said.
So they can only receive per diems after players have been paid.
Yes.
So when the players are fine, then we can give something small to management committee people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see.
Yeah. Let's continue. Let's get onto the international portals and check out what's happening on goal.com. Goodman fuming over Walker's selfish decision to join Milan. Musa Pulisic and Milan defeats Girona 1-0 in huge UEFA Champions League victory.
Yes.
Kane goes missing as Bayern suffer final thumping. And then Kolo Muani debacle is over. PSG forward set to complete Juventus loan. NBA stars Wembayama and Chris Paul in attendance as Paris Saint-Germain beat Manchester City. And then Arsenal down Dynamo, but Sterling has another stinker. Then we check out what's happening on skysports.com this morning. Some interesting stories here. Let's get into them. Pep admits this is the reality after Manchester City slump in Paris. Arsenal all but through to the Champions League last 16 with win over Dynamo. And then other stories here say Celtic secure Champions League playoff with dramatic win against Young Boys. The state of play for British teams with one Champions League round left. Okay, so the breakdown of all the English teams in there.
Yep.
And then Chelsea make bid to take Luis on loan from Juventus. That's another story there. And then Amorim clarifies worst ever Manchester United comment. I'm young, I make mistakes. And so I think the PR machine have asked him to retract those words.
Yeah.
But he spoke the truth, actually. It's not about me making mistakes. He spoke the truth. Truth stands, as my Vandals would say.
Yep.
Nathan, let's check out some tennis stories. And Sinner routes Diminoa to stay on track to retain Australian Open title. And other stories you can find here in relation to tennis. Swiatek continues Australian Open romp despite double bounce controversy. She'll be in the semi-final. She'll be playing one of the semi-final games today. And she'll be in action against Madison Keys. And Arina Sabalenka takes on Badosa in epic semi-final class. So these are the stories you can find on our online portals this morning.
Okay, let's jump into a few select stories, right? Kofi Adams is the nominee for the position of Sports and Recreation Minister. And he has stated that Get Fund, which is the Ghana Education Trust Fund, will be key to the development of growing sports at the education level. According to him, the sports ministry under his leadership will look to empower grassroots sports, especially school sports, which was a source of sports personalities in the past. Sports at junior high and senior high schools were key to developing talent in past years. The production of athletes such as Asamoah Gyan, who came from Accra Academy, let's add that. Michael Essien, Benjamin Azamati, Rosie Boa, and many, many, many others. Now, he told Joy Sports in an interview, because we need to go back to the grassroots sports in terms of the academicals, the school sports. We need to begin to look at it. I'll be sitting with my colleague, Minister for Education, once I get confirmed, for us to see how we can reintroduce school sports and get the sports ministry to run school sports while the GES continues to teach the physical education as a subject in the classroom. But in terms of school sports, the sports ministry can take up that responsibility and we'll engage and see how a portion of the GET fund can be allocated into a sports fund to fund some of these activities. So interesting stuff coming in from Kofi Adams.
Very interesting. Nathan, I think GET fund itself is saddled with a lot of debt because of the huge infrastructure projects they've taken on. And so how that's going to happen, I don't know. But
I'm sure it's a three-way conversation. He forgot to mention the other part, which was the finance ministry.
Yes.
Because GET fund works, closely with that. Remember, I think GET fund is being capped, those things. So there are conversations that need to be had.
I mean, collateralized, there are lots of conversations about GET fund. So.
If you go to Ghana Web quickly, Dr. Randy Abe is speaking and he has confirmed that the GFA will be keeping Otto Addo despite everybody's opposition. And he told Original FM, quote, "We think the GFA has made its decision already." Now, Otto Addo's future was in doubt after failing to get Ghana to the next AFCON. But if Dr. Randy Abe's words are anything to go by, we are having more Otto Addo in the mix because he's going nowhere. Ray, I don't know if there's a story you want to focus on.
Well, I want to talk about referees this morning. And refereeing is not a perfect job. Alex Corte. And
which job is a perfect job?
Okay, so referees manager of the Ghana Football Association, Alex Corte, has admitted that referees in Ghanaian football are unlikely to achieve perfection despite ongoing calls for improvement in officiating standards. His comments come in the wake of heavy criticisms leveled against Ghanaian referee Maxwell Hansen, who has faced scrutiny for several errors during Ghana Premier League games. One match they have spoken about is the game between Accra Lions and Dreams FC on match day 16. Quote, "For the past season, I think they are performing well, but they need to do better than what they are doing. I will always say that from the technical point of view, we assess referees on different parameters. Now, refereeing is not a perfect job. You can never be perfect, but you strive to improve on your performance every time that you are given the opportunity to officiate a game." So that's what referee Alex Corte, the referee's manager, has to say about our complaints by his match officials.
Yes, if you go international, they have several Champions League stories there. So, for example, BBC Sport has Phil McNulty writing, "A pitiful and chastening surrender. Guardiola's job has never been bigger." And then there's a splattering of stories. Bayern Munich got stunned by Feyenoord. Kelvin will give us more. But in terms of tennis, Arina Sabalenka and Paula Badosa, they are friends, very, very, very good friends.
Yeah.
But this morning, they are facing each other for a place in the final of the women's draw of the Australian Open. And Raymond, just finally from you before
so finally, the story, I think it's been in the news over the last few days. I even had my take on it, but the FA want to be stubborn. We'll address this matter. Ghana FA retains Otto Addo despite 2025 AFCON failure, plans backroom changes. And the story says the Ghana Football Association has decided to retain Otto Addo as head coach despite Ghana's failure to qualify for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, according to Ghana Football Association Executive Council member Dr. Randy Abe. Addo supervised 6 games in AFCON qualifiers without securing a single win, which saw the Black Stars miss out on the tournament for the first time in 20 years. However, Dr. Abe, who is chairman of the Black Stars Management Committee, confirmed that the association has no plans to part ways with Otto Addo. Instead, the GFA plans to make changes to Addo's backroom staff with assistant coaches Joseph Lohman and John Pintel and goalkeepers coach Fatal Dauda likely to be dismissed. So that's what Black Stars will return to action in March, facing Chad and Madagascar in the 2026 World Cup qualifying matches.
All right, that's how we or where we draw the curtains on the sports review.